I mean, it looks cool. We didn't get to see the actual gameplay yet, but boom, guys, you already know what it is. You know LT, aka TANKdGAMER. Now today we're going to be covering over the patch notes for Sparking Zero for Diamond Pack 2. So as you can see right here, it shows you here the 22nd of September for the people that are living in the UK, 21st of September around 11 o'clock, you should be getting the game, right? And in America, obviously time just differentiates there, right? So as you can see here, there's a new stage that's going to be added to the game. Now, boy, they've never done this before in Sparking Zero. In all its history, it's been out for a year, they've only added one stage, and that's this one here. So congratulations to those that won the new stage. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually care. Like, I play in a city map, but people don't even like the city map, you know, and they always complain about, oh, you used to choose the hyperbolic time chamber, but there's less clutter and whatnot kind of thing, right? So I can't even kind of vouch to say, yeah, there's a new map, because I know no one's going to pick this map, you know what I mean? Give it a week, people will play it, and then after that, it's gone. People aren't going to touch it, they're going back to the hyperbolic time chamber as usual. I'm not going to lie, I don't mind the hyperbolic time chamber, but it just does get kind of tedious when you obviously see the white screen, and plus I got HDR on, and it's just extra bright, you know, I mean, especially with my monitor, man. I've got it like to the highest brightness, so it just kind of becomes blinding. What the? But obviously with the demon stage, it's because the dark stage, right? I don't like dark stages either, and the fact that it's just one tone color, it kind of leads it to be like less clarity for me, just because of the fact that it's just bright red, and then obviously you've got the rocks that are red, the sky's red, you know what I mean? Like the clouds, they're red. It just, you know what I mean, misses the kind of like color palette I need for a stage to look quite vibrant. Like the best stage I could actually picture in my mind, I could say would be which isn't currently in the game right now, is, you know, that level where you used to fight where Goku, well not Goku, Vegeta fought Android 18 and she broke that nigga arm. Yeah, that stage there in Tenkaichi 3, that looked crazy. Like, because obviously you got the blue water, you know what I mean, and then you had like the blue sky, green hill, the roads were kind of grey, black and all that sort of thing. I don't know, it just created a good vibrancy for me anyways. But anyways, just carry on to the next point. Single battle. So characters who recover health upon transformation will no longer do so. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this, I was kind of disappointed, and not because I use a character that can transform and get health. I use Goku. You already see my videos, man. I use base Goku, like, specifically in it. But the fact that, like, when I go into online now, and I feel to myself, my opponents don't have any handicaps to make themselves, you know what I mean, like, have the advantage. I like playing with a disadvantage, right? Because I already know how skillful I am at the game. So I like the challenge of basically fighting people that use everything in their arsenal possible just to kind of keep on par with me. It keeps the game fun for me, innit? You know what I'm saying, innit? But it is what it is. But the fact that they're making transformations more stronger now, so they say characters who can transform will receive a permanent attack power buff when transforming using a skill stock. This buff is removed when reverting to transformation. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't even get that much. Like, is it the fact that when you transform that you're using an extra skill stock to make you stronger, or is it just basically saying that, no bro, when you transform your strength, like your transformation is just generally stronger and that's it? You know what I mean? Because wasn't they doing it in the first place, right? I'd assume so, but I'm guessing they're just going to make it stronger and more, you know what I mean, effective in that sense way. But it'd be kind of weird, for example, say I'm using like Jiren, or, well, not even Jiren, say I'm using Beerus, he can't transform, right? Does that mean that when someone decides to use Goku base and they go to Super Saiyan Goku, they're going to do a lot more damage than me? Because we really know, like, how are they doing this, like, balancing thing? Are they going to make characters who are stronger now technically not as strong, or, you know what I mean, where are we going with this? Because I'm kind of lost, and I'd really like them just to kind of stick to what we know as the lore, right? Beerus is supposed to be stronger than Goku, Super Saiyan, and things like that. What I reckon they should have done for the transformations in sense of way is, yeah, you can make the that attacks more, do more damage and things like that. But what I feel would be good is, say, example, like your counter times and things like that, it became more easier to kind of pull off your counters when you transform. So at a higher transformation, you can probably super counter but more easier. But when you're at a lower transformation or just a base, it'd be harder to. And it kind of gives you a bit more incentive, because it makes you feel like, okay, cool, I can flow with the fight a lot more efficiently and kind of engage into the combat. So therefore, when you go both to power up to that your maximum level or whatnot, or say for example you're using Beerus might have the easier time to super counter someone with against Krillin or whatnot, but say for example you both powered up and now you're base super counting like crazy. I thought that would be a kind of a cool idea, you know, like base characters are just generally harder to handle. I thought that would be just brilliant, because that's what Dragon Ball is about, right? Is when you're in your base form, yeah, fair enough, you can fight, you can always have the skill, and you can probably still be capable of like competing with other people, but it's just a bit more difficult because your opponent's moving faster than you, their attacks hurt more, and I just thought that would be a great more way to kind of incentivize people to transform more. Rather than it just, I don't know, it just feels weird for me, innit? It just feels kind of random. Like, I had a great idea with, for example, when you're fighting great apes or any giants, that you can't make them stagger unless you transform to a certain state, right? So, for example, that could still apply, for example, when you're transforming, just to be the fact that, okay, cool, I can counter you more frequently. And I think that would kind of justify the fact how people say, oh, super counters are broken and things like that, right? You know what I mean? For example, if you transform and you can level up the playing field a little bit more efficiently because you transform to a higher state, then yeah, cool, that's great. You know what I mean? I think that would just help out a lot. I don't know how they would do it because then it all comes down to the internet connection and things like that. But if they could do that in a certain way, for example, yeah, cool, right now I can land like, you know, there's a 4-hit window, but when you super counter and when you go into like a higher state, the window just increases so you can do more mistakes, but you can still land the super counters. I thought that'd be great, but yeah, I don't think they're going that route. I mean, they didn't even look at that route. But anyways, carry on, because I can talk so much on the point of transformations. But we can save it for another video if you guys want to hear a bit more. But anyway, future changes and adjustments. Add an option for displaying the edge of the battle area, allowing players to choose a method where the boundary appears where approaching it. So, you know what's crazy is I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I was kind of in a point where I wanted to make a complaint about this, thinking, the fact that, like, I don't get you twisted, innit? I don't mind that there's no boundary, like, you know, barrier which you can't see visually, right? Because it keeps it, like, what's the right word to say? It's not seamless. I don't know, what's the word when you visualize? Not when you visualize, it keeps it, what the name of the word? It'll come back to me, innit? But, yeah, immersive, that's right. It keeps it more immersive, the fact that you can't see the whole blue barrier covering the whole stage and things like that. But the fact that they said, yeah, we can put an option in it to take it, to make sure that players that don't like that, we can have something visually there so you can kind of know where you're attacking and where your opponent is landing on the stage. I think that's so annoying though, isn't it? Like when you go to the stage and like you're at the corner and you realize, oh crap, I didn't realize I was at the corner. That is kind of annoying, I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? Maybe they just, hopefully it's not something ugly, because I will put it on if it doesn't look ugly. If it's just bare there and it just kills the whole immersion, I'm like, fuck that, bro, innit? But if it's just there, it gets closer and it kind of looks brighter, I'll be like, you know what, cool, I'll be like, yeah, I can fuck with that. But yeah, anyways, episode battle, adjusted difficulty, we don't care. Custom battle, we don't care. I'll be honest with you, episode battle, I don't even think I even played past Goku's storyline. Like, I think, nah, that's a lie. I think I touched Goku Blacks just because I like the character. And then Goku Black, Vegeta, and Goku. I didn't bother to even see the rest. I didn't see Gohan Black. I didn't see anyone other. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't care. Anyways, rank match. A player will now receive a minimum of 50 points regardless of the difference in rank points. That's just brilliant. Like, honestly, because it got to a point when you're Z rank and you're fighting other players and you're thinking, what's the point? I might as well just play a quick match because I don't gain nothing from fighting you. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm a person that loves to kind of like do like best of threes. You know what I mean? Well, best of two. Yeah, well, I guess it's like three matches, right? It's not best of threes, it's not best of twos. It's just 3 matches you can win and whatnot, right? I like doing that. I don't like kind of leaving one and dones. I hate one and dones, man. I think that it's just corny and cheesy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You go there, you beat one guy, oh shit, I beat it, bro, and you run off like a bitch. Oh, come on, bro, innit? Like, don't do that. The only time I would kind of avoid it is if it was just awful to play. Like that, like I even play like lag matches sometimes. I think to myself, fuck it, bro, the match is laggy, but I'm playing, I won that match last time, blah blah. I'm not gonna just run away just because I got the one win in it. Like, I don't mind playing you in it, etc. You know what I mean? If it felt like a decent fight, I'd be like, you know, fuck it, I'll entertain it. And especially if he wants to play as well, the person, or he or she, if they want to carry on playing, I'm down with it, bro. And like, if you didn't see that much of a problem with it, even though there might be a bit lag, I'm game if you're game, innit, fuck it. But if it's just atrocious, bro, my buttons don't work and whatnot, I'm just gonna be like, bro, this ain't fun, innit? I understand the one and done's there, innit, but most of the time, I'll be honest with you, even like in like majority of fighting games I play, I never one and done because I just don't think it's right, unless I need to be somewhere. Unless I'm like, oh shit, my last game, I've got to run up real quick, you know what I mean, different story. But that one and done spirit, that's not me, innit? Like, it might be you lot, man, but I can't do that, man, innit? I got way too much ego to be running away from anyone. You know what I mean? I'm here, I'm willing to give smoke at all times, bro, innit? But yeah, let me carry on. So at the end of the player rank at the end of the season, players ranked first to 100 will receive a text title indicating their rank. Similarly, for characters ranked, players ranked first to 100 will receive a text indicating their rank at the end of the season. I'll be honest with you, I did not even play rank this whole season. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Can I make top 100 in 2 days? I don't know. Find out, innit? Like, stay tuned, innit? If I get this video out on time, that's it, isn't it? But battle system changes and adjustments. Short dash. Players can now perform another short dash immediately after starting one, but only once. What happened to my light? Is it just fuck up? Okay then. But yeah, players can now short dash immediately after. Let me get my light back up. I don't like the idea that they did that. Like, it just robbed me from my light source. Okay, maybe it could work. I'm cool. You cool? All right, let's get it. All right, so short dash. Players can now perform another short dash immediately after starting one, but only once, right? So this is where I feel they're going more into TANKdGAMER free routes, especially with ascent and descent. I'll go into that in a minute, but right now we'll carry on a short dash. So with a short dash, for how it'll work is you can fly to your opponent and pull back instantly. You know what I mean? So you can kind of like, I would say, like, bait your opponents out and things like that, and you just make it a bit more effective. Now, I remember Grandmaster Hawks mentioned this along with ascent and descent in a few of his points. So I believe they might be listening closely to a lot of like the TANKdGAMER free players, and hence they were saying that they preferred like TANKdGAMER free's fighting system a lot more than sparking. I personally love sparking zeros in comparison to like TANKdGAMER free. I used to love TANKdGAMER free back in the day, but I think I've really fleshed out with Sparking Zero, so I kind of know a lot of text and things like that you can kind of use, and ways to kind of like utilize them, you know what I mean, with different strategies in the game and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm happy that they're doing that. A change to that is the short dash. I want to see how it comes. I don't know if it's going to be a big game changer, but I expect it's going to do something. It's going to add something to the game, a fresh of playstyle to kind of work around, especially with ascent and descent. Increase the speed of ascent and descent at close range when you're flying up to them. So instead of you kind of hovering like that and you just kind of go next to them, you'll probably be able to move a lot more faster. Now, they need to make sure that it's a lot more faster rather than just a few, you know what I mean, seconds, like a few milliseconds faster and things like that. You know what I mean? Because it needs to be effective, right? So I think that with Dragon Dash cancels and things like that, there's going to be ways to kind of get around your opponents more effectively. But again, we'll see on the 21st, 22nd of September. Now, quick set and quick descent increase key consumption. Now, I wasn't too sure about this because I didn't really mind it too much, man. I thought the key consumption was fine, but I guess they're probably trying to nerf that to stop players from running away when your opponent ends sparking mode. And when you see like the players kind of just run up and down, they do that because they're elevated tech and all that crap, haven't it? Like, I honestly think that was stupid, isn't it? Like, because you can catch your opponent all the time, anyways. But I think they're just doing it for that purpose, to make sure that players don't run away now and they actually catch this arse whipping they were supposed to receive. But yeah. General ultimate blast, reduce the damage reduction correction when hitting with an ultimate blast during combos. Now, I'll be honest with you, I was not really much of a fan. Like, it doesn't upset me that much, but I'm not too sure I like the route of where they're going with the whole you can't combo with ultimate blast. It does nothing. Like, I remember I was doing a crazy combo against my opponent and then I threw an ultimate and I was thinking there was actually no point in me even doing that, because it done, like, my ultimate itself would have done more damage than the combo with the ultimate on top. And I was like, what? Why would I even throw an ultimate there? Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't even make sense. I wouldn't even go into, like, I don't know, man. I think the idea of having setups to land a combo is more ideal in this sort of game, because then it show that, okay, cool, you learn a few tech to kind of get around it, you've got a few setups and whatnot, and you landed a combo, you know what I mean, which your opponent found it was tricky to get out of, rather than it just being like players are just throwing out random ultimates. You know what I mean? Like, throwing out random ultimate is no skill at all. It's just kind of like, most of the time players will throw ultimates when they see that you're about to punch and they throw an ultimate like that. You know what I mean? I don't think that's cool. I think this, you know what I mean? Fair enough, you read your opponent, all that stuff, that's cool, innit? But it kind of gets very tedious. You know what I mean? You're always just trying to read your opponent rather than setting up your opponent. Say, yeah, cool, I launched him in a combo, blah blah blah. I've flown around him, and then kind of hit him with an ultimate. How he unexpectedly didn't know how to counter fast enough, or he didn't realize the pacing or the speed it came at him. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just a bit more effective, because you want to be catching your opponent more off guard in sense of ways throughout the setups, rather than you kind of doing a crazy setup and you don't get rewarded for it. I don't know, man. I just thought that was pointless. But anyways, yep. Key blast deflect. Players can now quickly perform a smash attacks during key blast deflex. So you know when you're going bow, 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 throw the fireballs and things like that. So, or is it like you're holding one hand and you go bow, 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 you bow, like, you know what I mean? Is it something like you're doing like that, or I mean, I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting when they drop it, so we can see how it actually works. I don't think they really needed to do that, but again, it's going to change the game, and I have a feeling a lot of players are going to utilize that. I just don't see these days that a lot of people are actually using rush key blast anymore as much, you know. Well, yeah, I don't see them using rush key blast as much, you know, when you go da 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 da, or they just find like back in the day when it was like Broly was taking over, Broly Z was taking over, and he was doing that. I think it would have made a big impact then, but rarely, we hardly see that these day and age on Spark and Zero. Many players are flying far away from you and doing key blasts. They're not up in your face anymore. So I don't know how the smash attacks are going to work. Super counters will no longer automatically recover during super counters. Now, I think this was mainly focused around androids using super counters, because when androids use super counters and you're seeing their key bar going up and you're thinking, bro, I'm ready fighting a losing battle when you're telling me his key's going up. I think they did it for that purpose, right? A nice idea I did have with it was, because I was thinking to myself, like, let's be honest, it's never really realistic, right? Super counters aren't that effective or efficient in the actual online games. Like, in some matches you'll see them to kind of be moving that way, but it's still a rare case. But like, for example, how I was saying it is, for example, yeah, your players are fighting and you're super countering, and then one person has lower key, so he starts vanishing, and then he realizes, oh shit, I'm about to run out of key, but he realizes you're still super countering. So if he super counters, you're super counter, and then he's able to build up key again and go throughout the motion of doing the super counter wars or the vanish wars. I think that would be an interesting touch, right? Because he can still be the game and things like that, and it kind of balance it out. But I understand that people are tired of like super counter war, vanish wars. They just want to like just done. They want to get rid of it most of the time, right? So, you know what I mean, I get it, man, but I just thought it would be a nice touch to kind of like strategic and strategy in this game, you know what I mean, by keeping that in. But it is what it is. See-through, now I think that's just perception. So the follow-up technique after successful perception can now be charged by holding the perception. So didn't we already have that? You know, like when you press circle, they hit you and you push them back, and then you press triangle and you hit them with like a sledgehammer move. Wasn't that ready in the game? That was a follow-up attack, unless they're talking about a new one, or unless they're referring to super perception, which they haven't said. But just going up at the back when they're talking about revenge counter and things like that, which I'll carry on in a minute. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be interesting to see a new touch. You know what I mean? See how we can actually use other skills to kind of, you know what I mean, like combat our opponents and things like that. So I'm all good for that. Sonic Sway fixed an issue where the follow-up attacks after Sonic Sway could be guarded for some characters. Now, are they referring to when you get Sonic Swayed and he punch you in the air and you come down and you hit him down with a sledgehammer again? You know what I mean? Because I know players, they block it all the time. Like, you just press it straight. As soon as you get kicked in the air or punched in the air, you press R1 or the block button and you are able to guard, right? Now, the fact that they're taking that away, can you avoid that in any form of way? Like, I think you can vanish it. I'm sure you could vanish it before. I know in TANKdGAMER you could vanish it, but the thing is, in this game, the tutorial or whatever, the training mode, it just doesn't like alleviate enough for us to understand what we can and what we can't do, right? It's literally like fluke sometimes in the middle of the match. We go, oh shit, you can actually do that, and there's no way for you to lab it as well. So if you did learn how to do it, you would need to know the timing and things like that, and it's just jarring, isn't it? So hopefully there's a way for you to be able to counter Sonic Sways, because I guess, like, you know what I mean, yeah, you get rewarded for your opponent catching you off Sonic Sway, but at the same time, you should be able to kind of, like, you know what I mean, be able to counter out of it or things like that, you know what I mean, to evade out of it some way. You know, I think that's what TANKdGAMER 3 did, man. So they should keep some of the old touches in this game, man, because that was not broken in TANKdGAMER 3, I believe, anyways. Revenge counter fixed an issue where the activation window for perception against revenge counter was shorter than intended. Now, when I looked at it, I was hopeful, because I was thinking to myself, have they fixed the issue where, for example, you know, when you do revenge counter and your opponent just kind of press perception and they launch back at you straight after, like, even though they didn't catch you with the perception or the super perception, they were able to just launch back at you and attack. I was hopefully thinking they would be able to fix that sort of, you know what I mean, problem in the game. But they didn't mention super perception, and super perception is the one that kind of catches your opponent's hand. It's not just regular perception, unless, like I said, it was maybe just a typo and they didn't squeeze in super perception and they were just talking about that. Or did it just mean that, yeah, you can just get, you know what I mean, catch super perceptions, or catch revenge counters for super perceptions more efficiently. I'm not too sure. Or did they intentionally mean that when you use revenge counter, and no, when you use perception or super perception, and then you get revenge counter straight away. I think they could be talking about that, but I don't know. It's a bit confusing. You know what I mean? But maybe I'll show a clip there so you understand what I'm on about. But anyways, yeah, guard break. Fix an issue where smash attacks in the same direction could not break guards after a guard break. Now, boy, like, I like the idea that you had to change directions to kind of cause a guard break, because it kept the mind games going. You needed to understand what you was actually doing in the game for it to be effective and pull off certain tech, or not even tech, but even just to kind of pressure your opponent right, rather than just mashing buttons. Because right now it's just telling me, oh, well, just turn into a mashing button simulator game where, you know what I mean, you just got to keep pressing square to slam down, or down square, down square, down square to break the opponent's guard. And it's alright, but I preferred the old way. I thought it was just a bit more, you know what I mean, brain power. It took someone to understand, okay, cool, I can't hit it with this move twice, you know. But it is what it is. Paralyze and smash key blast. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the best thing they've probably sorted out in the game, right? You know what I mean? I'm not one to kind of claim out, yeah, nerf this or whatnot. But I saw the tech. I saw what cooler players were doing online, man. They were tripping you over, and they were key stunning you, and then tripping you over, key stunning you, you know what I mean, grand slash, key stunning, grand slash, key stunning, and he had you in a loop where you kind of just had to take the beat, right? Unless you kind of was able to revenge counter before the grand slash even took place. Well, you couldn't because you're stunned, right? So I saw that as an issue, you know what I mean? I can't lie to you, but you players there, bro, you lot doing things like that, it's crazy. You already know it's gonna get nerfed, but you're doing what, to get to Z rank? Like, really? Like, if that's fun for you, fair, whatever, bruv. But, you know what I mean? They're just gonna take that out of the game, and you're gonna have to find a new way to kind of break the game your own sort of way. Why even play the game if you like doing that? But you lot are trolls, man. You lot are bad people, bro, isn't it? But you know what I'm saying? You just ruin the fun for everyone else. But yeah, so revenge counter can now be used when hit from the front. So, for example, if they hit that key stun thing, what, can you just punch out with a revenge counter? That's kind of disrespectful. You stun someone says fuck off, man, isn't it? Like, but yeah, hitting twice in the combo will now cause the opponent to be blown away instead of being paralyzed. Okay, so by the sounds of things, would it not have a paralyzing effect where you knock them down? Because it would make sense, right? Like, if they're paralyzed, you've blown them away, but they should be like just dropped to the ground or something like that instead, rather than kind of just being blown away and not having the paralyzing effect at all. Because then it just kind of just nullifies the paralyzing ability, which is beneficial for the player, which is, you know what I mean, that's part of the character's attributes. So, but yeah, tornado slash, and I believe tornado slash is when you grand slash someone and then you press triangle right after. So yeah, fix an issue where the guard could be inserted during a tornado slash. Also, where guarding could be inserted during the tornado slash. So that means, like, you know, when you trip them over and then you got punch them and you go flying, I think you could block normally after that for the other follow-up attack. And I think they just said, no, we got rid of that. I mean, I thought that was cool, man. I didn't think any of these things. I don't think that was broken at all, man. I don't even think that even needed nerfing, but you know what I mean, it is what it is. Skill change and adjustments. Dispo, super maximum light speed mode. But I don't play as Dispo. I think I've only played as, like, pretty much, well, I played with a few characters, but mainly the Saiyans, man. Goku for GR. I played as Broly. I played as Goku Black. I played as Gohan. I played as Kid Goku. I used to play as Master Roshi until everyone was like, bullshit, man. But I thought, fuck that. As soon as I saw everyone choosing Master Roshi, I was like, nope, I am not part of that clan. But yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't think I've played as Dispo before, innit? But the fact that he has his icon will now be displayed during effect duration is good, because I do remember that you didn't even know if he was in effect. I'm not even too sure if he even glowed purple, and I'm sure he glowed purple in anime. But yeah, so know the fact that, yeah, cool, it shows you that with his effect is kind of important, right? And key consumption for short dashes is reduced during the effect, so he's going to be moving hella fast. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays. Blast changes and adjustments. So general unblockable rush blast can now be evaded with auto evasion skills such as after image technique. Now, you know that what you're doing, all them fireballs like that, that's going to be basically triggering after image, right? So back in the day, before, when the game first come out, that was the only thing that could hit players with after image. So now they've kind of just done a whole, you know what I mean, like Una reverse, and said, nah, bro, they're going to dodge that as well. But the fact is that obviously we can perception them now, so it stops them from using like after image and all these sort of things, right? I think even super counter may do something. I can't remember if it did or not, but yeah, we have the ability to kind of like nullify after image techniques and things like that. So yeah, it's just an Uno reverse card, but they're saying that the auto key, the key blast is now evaded. So they're basically saying we're not making after image trash. You know what I mean? We're gonna give you some sort of benefit in case you're versing a player that likes to spam a lot of rush key blasts and things. Alright, so character changes and adjustments. Gogeta Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan increase the attack power of the smash key blast performed on the spot. Now they nerfed that before, and now they're bringing it back because they realize Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue isn't as good as people like to make him out to be. Because I'll be honest with you, he is nice. You know what I mean? If you're good at the game, he is nice. But he is probably one of the weakest, in my opinion, for all the 10 DP characters. And a lot of you will argue and say, what do you mean? How is he weak? Blah, 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 etc. Well, for example, his skill stock moves aren't great at all. He's got one move, well, I think that's called Energy Barrier, right? Or whatever it's called. Or I can't remember. Something Barrier, whatever. But that move is trash, man. It costs 1 key skill stock. And I remember one of the YouTubers was saying, nah, that move needs to be nerfed. That move needs to be nerfed, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Well, why? It's like, it's useless when you hit someone from behind. You know what I mean? If you hit a Gogeta player from behind, he can't even use the move. Why would it even need nerfing? You know what I mean? Isn't it? Like, you just go behind Gogeta and just wipe him out. But yeah, so that move's pretty much trash. You can easily evade it as well. So if you're kind of good at your movements and things like that, from one of my previous videos, you see when I did the dragon step, I can actually kind of go underneath him and kind of hit him from behind. So I mean, isn't it? Like, and you kind of know when people are going to use that move anyways. But yeah, that, and he's got instant transmission. Now instant transmission got nerfed as well. It used to be really good back in the day, and now it got nerfed, and now it's a thing where like, it's not going to be as effective, you know what I mean, unless you play like strategically well with Gogeta. And that's what I've said to you, innit? He's good when you're skilled at the game, but if you're not skilled at the game, he's not carrying you like Beerus, because he's got sleep, he's got instant spark. Wiz has a barrier, which is a decent barrier, and he also has his obviously ultra instinct, and also he regains health from eating. And then you have Vegito, which has a boost of stats, and then he also has a basically key, well, what was it, maximum key charge or whatever bullshit is, right? So he gets key back and he gets like boosted stats, so therefore he can be in the game quite long, especially when it comes down to like him in Vanishing Wars. He's going to win on that side of things. And then we've got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He's got Wild Sense and he's got Instant Spark as well, and he's probably got one of the like best combo strings in the game and things like that. So Gogeta is not bad, but I just don't think he's as good as players have made him out to be. I just think he's nice. That's, you know what I mean, he's nice to use. But yeah, so Wiz adjusted the blast overture to destruction to be less likely to hit opponents directly above or below. Now I'm not even too sure which one this move is. Is that the one they just nerfed, where, for example, you couldn't escape when he does that? I mean, that crap there. Or was it like the one where he just there's the finger beam and he just blasts you? I can't remember which one it was. It might be the finger blast one, because that move is annoying. I mean, that one there was annoying as fuck before, because he used to do that grand slash, trip you over, and he just hit you with that. You could not vanish at all. I was labbing in the training mode, and I was thinking, how the hell do you dodge this? Because every time I'm going up against like Wiz characters and they always do that attack, I'm like, this is just free damage, bro. Like, it's just bullshit. But yeah, I look like they're just trying to nerf. They nerf that anyways, and I don't know if they're trying to nerf his other skill. And if they do, they just fucking destroying Wiz then, aren't they? But yeah. And other battle rules, fix an issue where stepping out of bounds during battles with ring outs would not result in a ring out. Bro, I don't know if anyone even plays fucking ring outs, bro. I don't know if anyone plays tournaments in this game. Like, don't get twisted, I like the idea of tournaments, but it's not popular enough, man. I feel like if there was a big queues, like, well, not even big queues, but if the lobby was bigger and players were just constantly on it, you could find matches on it quickly, then I think players would play a bit more frequently. But since I jump on it, every time I jump on a tournament, it's like a fucking 10-15 minutes wait for, and these are players, they're just recruiting from their friend list saying, yo bro, join the game, innit? You know what I mean, bro? Like, you rarely see any randoms jump into a tournament. So I don't know, man. It just, for me, tournaments aren't the one yet at this point in time, innit? But I'd hopefully like to see, even if you could do quick match and you could choose a tournament stage and you can implement that thing, that would be more sense, right? You could throw that in rather than having to go to like world tour and do that. I'm sure, like, I don't know if you can do on quick match. If so, you know, you know, I haven't kind of explored enough. If that's the case, and you can do that. But yeah. And now online match, fixed the issue where the online on-screen UI was sometimes not displayed. Now I don't know why they waited 3 or 4 months just to fix this. This should have been fixed from off the gate. As soon as they saw that, they should have been like, oh shit, just pull the game out right now and just start from fresh, you know what I mean, and get that shit sorted. Because how can you not have the HUD, like your health bar showing, you know what I mean? That was crazy. When that happened, I was like, bro, like, you didn't know if you had any stocks, you didn't know how much health you had, you couldn't see your opponent's health, you couldn't see, bro, like, you couldn't even see your key, bro, like, oh, I don't know, man, innit? But anyways, that's the patch notes here, done and said and whatnot, really. Anyways, if you guys like anything to add, or you want to say anything or speak your opinion, if you don't agree with me what I said or anything I like, or if there's something you like or I didn't mention or anything like that, then please let me know in the comment box below. But as you already know, what it is. You know LT, aka TANKdGAMER. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. So let's get it. Bow. We out.
Enemies and cemeteries left where they're meant to be. Must be crazy to think they could grab me. I'm still rising. I came with integrity. 2 to the game. I'm breaking like a referee, but I'm not waiting. I play with this energy, so I keep scoring, shooting like a penalty. Ways that I train, make games like a synergy. Good for the pain. Cells they react, maybe go on stronger. System go lit like a TNT wick spot. If they relaunch that me, then I'm on guard. They need to retreat. They be beating this dunya. Visa, none of bully in a freezer. Heal up and cut like a wound cut Caesar. I'm sending like a ruler. Once in a blue moon, go ape like a G. Don't you get